Hello farmers, welcome back to Hinterland. The morning of August, as we know, is here, and something else is here. Someone mentioned a mod to me. I can't remember if it was for this series or in Cylindra, because I was having the issue with both, with terraforming, painting, whatever, and they mentioned the Paint, Terraform, Landscape Anywhere mod, which came out a while ago. I completely forgot about it, but they mentioned it. I would look for it and I'm like, oh yeah, this will come in handy. So you don't have to buy land to actually landscape on it if you want to. So that allows us to go ahead and put the asphalt down all the way to the village, all the way up to the sawmill. And the same thing could be said from our sell point over there. Actually, it's between the restaurant and the cow barn, all the way up to our other production buildings. Speaking of production buildings, I got to come over to here because our straw production should be nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's saying it's out of space because it is. The straw point is full. So let's go ahead and make sure things have spawned here. And okay, nothing has spawned here. This is it. Oh, did I not put? Oh, that's right. It's a new building, so I don't have it on spawn because I had to replace it. Okay, so that'd be why. Let's see. Let's go ahead and put this on hide inactive. Let's go to straw accessories and spawn items. No, not spawn items. Sorry. That's for the other mod. We want to go ahead and change output mode to spawning. There we go. That's better. Same thing can be said for the straw crates. So these should spawn out here. And instead of using the autoloader to take them off, we're going to take them off by hand. Because I don't know if that's what's doing it. Maybe that's what's causing the problem by taking off with an autoloader. And I don't know, maybe the way the coding is, the production building doesn't know that you actually took it out of there, even though it's not showing it there. Weird things can happen. We all know that. So we're going to take it out by hand. It's straw, so it shouldn't weigh that much. And hopefully in a second here... okay, so we scrolled. Hide inactive. Alright, so it doesn't say out of space anymore. So we're good. It's back up and running. And hopefully this keeps on running. We can just go ahead and stack these on top of one another. It's straw, right? It shouldn't hurt it at all. It should be just fine. So this morning in this episode, we're going to start off with harvesting the wheat field. Actually, the combine is over there running. The Case Magnum is over there running, waiting for us. And we got to fire up the JCB. And I'll come back and do this later. That's good. That's good and running. We got to grab the JCB to bring the header on over. Just a little ways we got to go with it. Let's go ahead and jump into here. I thought about just grabbing the header here and driving up the road with it. It's like, nah, it's already on the trailer. Let's bring up the road and we'll hitch up to the header up there somewhere. It'll be good to go. And then we got to bale. Once we get done with the straw baling. Wait, are we done? No, we still got... No, we're done baling. We've done the oats. We've done the barley. And this is the wheat. So, that yeah, we're all good. We'll be done baling straw. So we can go ahead and bale up the grass that we mowed last time as well. The other grass field, the newer grass field, that is ready to be mowed as well. So we'll get to that at some point. I mean, it'll be this month, but maybe not this episode. I would like to start bringing some potatoes over so we can maybe get that production up and going. Or at least get it all set. Let's go ahead and grab the combine here. Spin her around. Ease her on in. Alright, and then we detach the back end of the trailer. Alright, so we're all set there. Let's unfold the header. I think it unfolded, did it not? Yeah, yes it did. Okay, and unfold the combine. Let me get kind of back up where I was so I can set up a worker in the Case Magnum for baling. The JCB is still running, I think, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and turn that off. Let's not waste diesel fuel on that. And of course, let's come into here. Turn on the implement first. And you know what? You're going to follow 40 meters behind. And you should be all set. Who's working today? Looks like Frank Jr., I guess. Or Uncle Frank. I don't know. Either way, let's get to harvesting here. Now, I'm going to be a little bit concerned when we get to that side of the headland that we're going to be doing. That hill looks a little angled, so we'll see how the header handles it. But it's all the same angle, so it might be just fine. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't know how far when you get around. Probably it's going to harvest like the barley. I think wheat and barley harvest at the same rate almost. I think you actually get a little bit more wheat than barley. So we're going to be unloading quite a bit, I think. Although I can't remember, is the soil over here good or bad? Well, it is what it is. We'll find out eventually. So yeah, we're going to go around and harvest all this wheat, like I said. I thought I was going to put lime in the barley field because I was hemming and hawing on it last episode, and I'm still hemming and hawing about that. I think I'll have to wait and see how this field's doing. If this field needs lime, then I'm just going to, lime all three. And then I may say no, and the next episode we're going to do them all anyways. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Just wait and see. But this idea is running through my head. So also with the free landscaping mod, I've been around in a few places. So over by the greenhouses, where it was a little uneven, with that mod, you can actually landscape underneath the placeables. Just be careful, because if you try to smooth it out, it will lower the ground underneath the placeable, so it looks like the placeable is hanging in midair in some cases. So just be a little bit careful about that. But I do believe it's called, the mod should be in the link in the description below on the mods page. And I do believe it's called like Paint, Landscape, and Transform Anywhere mod. But they're in alphabetical order. I think the first one is Paint, so it's going to be where the P's are. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can find it. It's down there. I should mention, though, it's for PC and Mac only, so console players. I, again, apologize, but it's the way it is. So the harvest is looking pretty good. So all this wheat we are going to save in the beginning for the chickens, but currently the chickens are just not really going to the feed, but we don't really have... I think the pen is like 10% full. But they're not... It's not like the cows. Like the cows' pen's only 10% full, but they're going to the feed. The sheep pen is like 20% full. They're not really going to the feed. The chickens aren't going to the feed either. So I think with the Maizeplus food add-on, the chickens are not going to the feed like the cows are. So it almost looks like the Maizeplus food add-on was done for the cows and maybe the cows only. I'm not sure. I don't see any more production in wool from the sheep. I can't really say yet on the chickens because we just barely got them. We don't have that many. But I would say I don't see much of a change with the chickens yet either. But we have 30 or 40 chickens and we just barely got them in the springtime. So, we'll have to wait till we get a full pen to see how the eggs come along here. Alright, I'm going to start slowing down because I don't want a huge swath of Frank Jr. having to pick up. Let's teleport to the truck. There we go. Fire on up. So the bales are coming on out. I think I could bring all these straw bales on down to the straw production. I think we got a good amount of straw in the bale shed for the cows for at least another year easily. And of course, if worst comes to worst, if we have to, we'll just have to buy straw bales, which would not be feasible. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. It's almost like this combine was made for this truck and trailer because that auger pipe just barely gets over the cab of the truck. Yeah, we're here. So pH value is okay. So I'm probably going to put lime down in this field. I don't want average. I want above average. So if we're going to do, we've already done the oat field and we're going to do the wheat field. We might as well do the barley field and we'll just do all three fields in this section at the same time, probably all the time. That's the way I should do it. Just to be sure. That is one big straw swath that we left behind for Frank Jr. here. We'll see how the Krone baler handles it. And now comes to the part of, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the header is going to miss something. It's going to be kind of... It's got an angle to it, but the combine should be at the same angle as the header. It's not like we got a mound we're going over and it's going to miss some areas or whatever. It's got a dip. The angle's all the same, so it may not miss anything. It's a little bouncy. Like a lot of land around here. I also did a quick look, and I don't know if I checked on last episode when we switched over to the month of August. But our stone pine trees that we planted, I didn't see nothing from a far distance at the farm itself. Looking up at this mountain, I didn't see where they have grown at all. So it's taken a while. It's unlike, I think on Silver Run I planted lodgepole pine is what I planted, and those grew, they seemed rather quickly. I don't know how many liters of wood we get per a full grown tree of lodgepole pine, but as I was doing wood on Cylindra, according to a chart I found, the stone pine is supposed to get the most amount of liters for the tree, full-grown tree. So that's why I went with them. And I still haven't found out on Cylindra what they do, so I don't have any results yet. Scooch on over here. So currently for the money situation here in Hinterland, we're just going to keep the money. I'm not going to bother paying off the loan just yet. But if I get a good amount, then we'll probably pay a little bit off. I'm contemplating between pay off a little bit on the loan or just keep saving up for a 7-hour John Deere tractor. But we do have to save the money. I think I'll have to wait until after harvest season, definitely after the cotton, just to make sure we got the money to keep paying our loan interest at midnight, and also our rental fee for the cotton harvester, which is $25,000 or just shy of $25,000, somewhere in there. Won't be long that we have it. I think we harvested the field right behind us last year in under an hour. And I'll use the Stevie modded one because that will harvest at 12 miles an hour. And that way we're sure that the rental cost, we won't go over an hour of a rental time, which would be nice. Not having to pay an extra, I think the rental cost for an extra hour is like 12 grand. So any way we can save money right now is always good. But as we all can see as the series moves along, we're going to be making money. It's just, it's slowly building up. It's kind of like a tidal wave when it's way out in the ocean. You don't really see how big the wave is, but once it gets to shore, you go, wow, that's a big wave. A weird analogy, I know, but there you have it. All right, let's spin around here. Probably should have spun around the other way there, Peanut, because oh no, we got it. We don't want to go into the crops and destroy them. But this truck turns rather tightly. And that fits under perfectly. Thought about putting this on a worker, but I figured this will be my last straw harvest of the year. Because we got, let's see, sugar beet, soybean, and cotton are the only crops left, right? Besides grass. We got 2 sugar beet fields, we got a big cotton field, and a soybean field. We did the 2 potato fields, and of course we've done these crops over here as well. I do like how fast this combine unloads as well. Really quick. It's got a big auger pipe on it. But the good news is I did the top half of the field and didn't have any problems with it. So it looks like the rest of the field should be good. Well, so far things are going pretty good with a header on this hill and the whole field. We haven't really missed anything. Absolutely nothing at all. I've missed a corner way back at the beginning, but that's all that this header has missed. Doing really good. I think the yield's going to be just shy of a full trailer here, which holds 120,000 liters. We are doing pretty good. Well, actually, maybe not that much because I'm not going to be making as many passes. The passes are not as long. As you can see, we got the long passes done. Now they're starting to get a little bit shorter, so probably the yield's going to come down a little bit. But it should be over 100,000. jump back into here. And then spin around. And luckily, I haven't had any issues with the bales on the headland. Everything has lined up just perfectly to where there's nothing right in front of the combine. And of course, the square bales do fit underneath the header as long as it's picked up, of course. And let's spin around here. So, for example, just drive right over the bale. Can't do that with a round bale. Yeah, so I will double check back at the farm, but I think the straw bale shed is relatively full. So all these bales here can go on down to the straw processing plant, which I do believe can hold a good amount. And I think the last load we brought down, it was just under half full. And of course, it made some straw products last night, so it has used some. And we're going to keep that straw processing plant going as much as we can, because I think the best time to sell that stuff is in September. I think that's when we sold it last year, or it could be I just sold it then last year because we needed the cash and we were done processing the straw. Try to sell things at the best time. Get the most for our money early on. That's a lot of straw bales. And I also got to figure out with the baling trailer why it wouldn't auto-load the bales unless they came to a full stop. I'm hoping that maybe resolved itself by reloading, logging into the game today. I'm guessing not, because it seems like every time I fix one problem, I get 2 other issues coming up. Minor issues, the stuff that we got to deal with. Just makes it a little bit longer process to pick up bales when you got to come to a full stop to get a bale. Yeah, we should be over 100,000 liters of wheat off this field. I've talked about it before, but it's still in my mind to possibly put up the digital signs that we used on East Vineland to tell us what silo was pig food and which one was compost, because I couldn't remember which one was which. I kind of thought about, and like I said, we talked about it before, putting those signs up, one for each field for crop rotation. So when I figure out what crop will be best in that field, I can just go to the sign and put on the sign what crop should be in there. So that way, if I'm trying to test every field, to be like, oh, okay, well, let's put that in this field, let's put that in that field. And then by the time I go back to the first field, it's like, what did I say goes in this one? I don't have that mod active, though, so won't be doing that today. And I should get everything here in one more pass. And look at that, we kind of line right back up with the header, which we can put that on the trailer. I don't know if I should call it a trailer, or it's more like a dolly system. I do have a small patch way down there, but it's probably 20 liters of wheat, so I'm not going to bother. Let's click on the truck. So currently I got 90,000 liters here. Did I have 90,000. 10,000 liters in the combine. Everything's going into the silo. Then we'll figure it all out later. Of course, I could send some of this extra wheat over to the bakery to be made into flour. But we got plenty of flour currently. I'm guessing there's 10,000 liters in there. So while that's unloading, let's go ahead and tell Frank Jr. He did a wonderful job. Wait, turned off the engine? Refuel vehicle? I didn't know I was running out of fuel. Oopsies. Well, instead of getting a tanker, what we're going to have to do here is we can do this, and then and not empty. We'll put 20 liters in. All right, let me pick up what's here. And what I'll do to make it fair here, let's just drop that right off. I'm gonna drop that off right there. Let's head to town and put some fuel in this thing, shall we? And what I'll do is, when we get a full tank of fuel, I'll see what the capacity is for fuel, and I'll reset the fuel in the tractor to minus 20 liters. So we didn't really gain anything other than, you know, if this is reality, I wouldn't just have magically be able to put 20 liters of fuel in. I'd have to bring like a tanker out, or at least a canister or something. That's kind of the one issue using helpers a lot for one vehicle, like I've been using in the case, is I'm not really in it, and the small amount of time I'm in it, I'm just focusing on getting it from one field to another to get started on a job, and I just haven't been paying attention to the fuel. And yeah, once again, I do have my fuel usage on high, so we're going to go through a lot of fuel. This may take a moment. Let me turn that off. We'll let it keep filling on up. So while that's going on there, let me clean up this mess. Alright, okay, let's put that on the header. Let's fold the header in, which is bringing the ends up a little bit. Alright, that will allow me to line up with the back of the dolly. Hope it actually set it there. And I'm hitting the wrong button. Alright, so we picked up the back end of the dolly, and now we go over to the JCB. And we attach there. It's all good. Alright, so now I got three things to bring back. I got the trailer with the header on it. We're not going to bother cleaning it off or do anything because we still got soybeans to harvest with it. That could be September, October. Do we have beacons on this? I do not have beacons on this. I see the spot for the beacons, but I didn't put beacons on it. Not that we have traffic or anything in Hinterland to deal with. We'll find a good spot for it in our shed. Probably should have swung a little bit wider than that, but yeah, we hit that little ghost image that we kind of went over a couple episodes ago that fence has on the other side. Alright, and we'll just drive this on through. At one point, I was categorizing where we park things, but now it's like, that's a good spot for this, that's a good spot for that. Oh no, I didn't want to disconnect from there. I need to disconnect from there. Alright, JCB can stay there. Let's go grab the case Magnum. And what we'll do is, what is a full tank? A full tank is 647, so we're going to put 627. 627 for fuel. And you know what? Let's go ahead and now we can pay for the other 20 liters. Maybe I gotta get out of the trigger and go back in because it thinks it's still probably full. Or maybe I can't add 20 liters of fuel. Alright, let's not worry about it. Let's not worry about it at all. So, I do need the baler. Because the next step we're going to be doing is baling the conditioned grass. And at some point we'll get the Vultra over and pick up, or the JCB, to pick up all the straw bales and the conditioned grass. And then hopefully we'll get started on transporting some potatoes over to the silo by the potato production. Here's our lovely grass field to the right. Now slowly we will, tidy up the roads as we move along in the series. Maybe put a decorative building here and there, but I don't want to be involved of making like a community anywhere, like I did on No Man's Land. But I think another building here or there, rather than just have open fields everywhere, would be a good idea. Alright, so let me go ahead. I'm going to bring the combine back. I'll bring the Magnum back with the baler, get that ready to go. And then I'll see you when we're putting the wheat into the silo. Well, everything is almost on this side of the river. The only thing we got left still on the other side is the lime spreader. But might as well leave that over there because we got those two fields to throw lime down at any time, really. Just as long as we get done before winter. I don't want to have to do it in the springtime, just before it's time to plant, or at the same time as trying to plant. That might be a little bit too much. But usually October, November will be a little bit slower around the farm. Not as much field work to do. So like the potato fields, those will need to be plowed. The sugar beet fields will need to be plowed once we get those harvested. And I think that's it. I gotta remind myself the cotton fields don't need to be. I always got in my head that they do. Yeah, let's go ahead and unload all that into the silo. I do have to move potatoes around later. See, 40,000 liter trailer. Oh, we got 216,000, so that's 5 full loads and almost half of a 6th load. Okay, that's quite a few. That's quite a few rounds of potatoes to bring on over. So let's at least get this off of the silo area, just in case I get to the JCB and start bringing potatoes over. And we'll bring at least 1 or 2 over, I think. And I may get the others done in between episodes. Let's put the pickup down and turn on the baler. And this should all be converted over to conditioned grass at some point, I hope. Or it may all be... Nah, it's going to be a straw bale. Okay, fine. It's still a straw bale. Just have to pick it up later on. So the conditioned grass, though, we should be using the silage additive now. Let's see, we're at 50. Yep, silage additive is being used. So I do believe that gives us a 5% yield on the grass. And once again, what we're doing with the conditioned grass, this covers all 4 food groups for both the sheep and the cows. All year round until November, we feed the sheep conditioned grass. We don't feed the cows conditioned grass. We want to give the cows the TMR for dairy cows. But if we happen to run short of hay or whatever product I need for making TMR, I can always give them the conditioned grass and we'll be fine. And when November rolls around, any conditioned grass we got left over in the bale shed, we got to take out and wrap it up and make into silage, because the grass would not be well through the winter, I don't think. I really don't know how long a grass bale can be wrapped before it really starts to rot and deteriorate on the inside. I guess all depends on weather conditions and all that kind of stuff. But for our little role play, we're just going to go, it'll be fine during the summer, and then we wrap it up in November, and we'll make it all in the silage, which is still a bonus for us because that's what the cows need for TMR anyways. should get plenty of bales off of this grass field. I think last time I did this field, I got like 38 grass bales, something like that. And it is well worth, if you're going to be doing a lot of baling with grass, and you can do, and your baler can support silage additive, it is worth getting, especially if you're going to be making silage bales. Because if you make 100,000 liters, 5% is 5,000 liters, so it's almost like another bale. And it's not that expensive for silage additive. I'm trying to think if this is the first time I've run out of fuel in a tractor or any piece of farming equipment I've had since the beginning of FS19. I do remember that on Ravenport. Had to think of the map there for a second. And I don't know how long in the series it was. Somewhat, maybe 15 episodes in, but I think it was the man truck that we had, and I ran out of fuel in the middle of the field. I know that the truck itself, we were doing a lot of silage, chaff silage, so the truck was being used a lot with a forage harvester. And I think I had the truck on a worker. It was like on Follow Me, and I was in the forage harvester, and of course, same situation as here. If you got it on Follow Me, or I don't know if Course Play will stop, but Follow Me, like we were using up in that field, the tractor ran out of fuel, but it kept running until I dismissed the worker. Then the tractor just shut right off. But either way, we kind of just, we kind of made it right by, we added 20 liters, enough to get us down to the store, put fuel into it, and I subtracted 20 liters back out of the tank, so I didn't want to have to lease a fuel tanker for 5 minutes to put some fuel into it and go top off the tractor. We got a lot of grass here. Seems like 38 bales. I might be underestimating the 38 bales. Of course, usually what we do is what we do with the harvester is we cut the grass and have a worker follow behind us. But I wanted to get the grass cut really quick last month because the grass was ready and we were coming to a close on the month. And I didn't want the baler to slow me on down. Yeah, some people have said there are modded balers out there that can go faster, or I could get the mod where we can adjust on any implement the work speed, how fast we want to go. I'm all set for cruising at 10 miles an hour. I'm not in much of a rush. It'll take me a while to get this done, and you're not going to watch me do it all. And in that sense, I think that's a good time just to do a quick little jump cut, and I'll see you when I get near the last swath or so. One last swath to get done, at least for today anyways, in this episode. And then of course, still this month we got the other grass field to cut. That one's going to be a little bit different because it's a weird shaped field, but I'll try to get the swaths mostly in a straight line. I don't want to be going around too many corners with a baler, as we all know how that can be. All depends on me on the day. Going around the corner with a baler, I could probably pick up most of it, but sometimes, yeah, you're just going to leave little traces behind here and there. Wait, I kind of forgot. Alt-X to reset bale counter, which I kind of forgot to do, didn't I? Which seems weird that it says Alt-X to reset bale counter. Now, that might be a special counter for this baler, because on the other series, I think I looked at this once before, just to be sure. I know I'm a crazy person, I understand that. But I go down here and double check on something here. Where are my binding key binds here? We shall find it. Alright, so that's for the Vermeer pack where it's control N. So it's just a different... It must be only on the Vermeers I can do that on. Well, no, because I was doing that... I can do that on the Pottinger baler that I have on Cylindra for control. Either way, yes, that's why I keep hitting the same button, because that's the button I know to hit. But yeah, it's Alt-X on this one here. Well, anyways, it doesn't matter now because we are done. And let's see, turn that off like that. And I think I'll just leave it parked right here because it's going to be doing the same job. Maybe next episode, we'll have to wait and see. I probably won't show a lot of that on the camera next episode because we just did it. Let's grab the JCB. No, that's the Big M. Where did I park the JCB? Right there. And where is the grain trailer? Which now is going to be used for taters. Let's sneak through here. And actually the first trailer, I should be able to dump the first trailer right into the production building. Because I think I adjusted that to take 40,000 liters and not 20. Let's see, where are the potatoes? Potatoes are right there. Did I not click on the right button? Must be I clicked just to the side of the button. I was like, don't tell me this trailer doesn't take potatoes because I took them over there last time. Don't give me another problem to solve in between episodes. Alrighty. Potato processing. Let's go get that started. So, in case a good day comes up for that, we can go ahead and sell all those. And once we do, we can get rid of the other shed that we have on the other side over by our productions. The one that Giants made where it cuts out the engine sound. We'll sell that. We'll get some money back on it, which would be nice. Yeah, on these roads here, I got to trim up on the corners a little bit, make it more sweeping corners. Because I do cut them off a little bit. So we need to just tidy them up as we go along. Ah, this looks so much better being asphalt. Yeah, the sawmill looks a little bit packed. I should bring over, at some point this month, should bring over the wool that the sheep have made. Bring it over to the spinnery while I'm doing all the moving around the pallets. Come over to the sawmill and take care of that. I should be able to dump this right on in. Sweet, and it's going to take all 40,000 liters, I do believe. Let's hope none of it goes on the floor. Am I going to hit anything? No, it looks like it's all going in. Don't dump any on the floor because then I'll have to figure out how many liters went on the floor. Perfect. Let's go ahead and get that started on up right away. Although it does go through it pretty darn good. Let's see. Pellet. What is this production called? It's not potato production? I forgot the name of it. I suppose it's going to be called... I've gone by it like, what, 20 times? Grist mill. Large potato sorter. Okay. What are we doing here? I kind of forgot the recipe that we're doing. Potato sorting bagged. Yeah, potato sorting bag, because that way we get pig food, seed potatoes. That's what we want. Let's go ahead and activate that. So yeah, it holds 40,000 liters. Oh no, now that's saying out of space. Why am I having this issue? We shouldn't be out of space anywhere. And how did I get waste potatoes? I shouldn't have any waste potatoes. I don't know. I don't know. But we got waste potatoes, which I don't think I was making before. But now I got to figure out why this production is doing this out of space. I'm starting to run out of space in my brain. Well, so before I bring over any more potatoes, I guess I got to figure out this situation. Oh, joy. That's going to be fun. Yeah, I don't know. I tried to do a quick search online for this out of space, and of course everyone says doing a Google search on this, everyone's saying the same thing. That's because people were asking, well, I can't, it won't, like the fabric, why is it saying out of space? And so your fabric is backed up. And they said, well, that should be going to the clothing. It's like a production line problem. We don't have anything. We don't have anything for outgoing products that we're backed up on. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what is causing this out of space problem. Yeah. Well, there we go. This is as soon as I figured it, we got the roads all taken care of. We got the straw factory back up and running. I thought we were good for at least a little while. I'm like, well, if the problem happens with the straw, it's not that big of a deal. But potatoes, I don't want to have to keep resetting that like I did the straw production. That would really suck. And if it starts happening with all the production buildings, then I'm not sure what to do. The one thing it could be, and I thought it was on East Vineland, is the factory upgrade mod could be causing the problem, but not quite sure how that would affect it. I don't know what would happen if I upgraded the factory. But I don't really need to upgrade the potato factory because that processes it rather quickly. So I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, I don't know. That's something I'll have to figure out. Now I'm all flustered. I'm all flustered. Oh no. How are we doing over here with the milk production? We still only got one crate of... Actually, we got a few crates of strawberry milk. That is... we'll just let that keep on producing as it produces. At least that's working well. As long as the dairy doesn't slow down anywhere, we are good. And we really need the factory upgrade mod, so I hope that's not causing the problems because this factory has been upgraded 7 times, somewhere around there, and we need it to go through that milk. Fingers crossed. So, yeah, I'm not sure. So potato production now is giving me the issue. And it worked fine last year with the factory upgrade mod. So, like I said, I don't know what causes the issue where it says out of space. Status out of space. The only thing I might be able to do is I'll have to go into the game XML file to see what the totals read there because yeah, we're reading fine here. But you don't need to deal with that. I guess that's something I'll have to deal with. Oh joy. But I guess that's where we're gonna have to wrap it up for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in Hinterland. But until then, have a good one.